Hi guys, so it's September and I am a graduate. So though it is September, I am not going back to school. It's the back to school season without the back to school. It's a weird one. I heard this phrase recently from a friend that you don't really realise you've graduated until summer is over, because at university you always had summers, right? You always went periods without seeing your university friends, without having deadlines and work, but then there was always this return to normalcy in September. But here I am. September, she's here, and normalcy ain't returning. I've been really sad the last few days. I just think it's really hitting me that university is over, and I just feel so immensely grateful that I had a university experience worth mourning. I loved university. I appreciate I had such a unique experience because I went to Minerva, a non-traditional university, where I had this incredible community of 200 people from all around the world. I was the only British person, and we studied abroad in 6 cities together as a cohort of 200. So we just bonded very deeply as people and got to experience so many different cultures and the world in such a unique way, while also doing a very intense academic degree. But I just love learning, and so the academics were so fulfilling, to be taking so many courses, to be taking electives in different subjects. I just every single day felt like I was growing as a human so much. I was constantly thrust outside of my comfort zone, but in a way that made it feel like I could do that, I had the support network to do that. And my friends, I just miss these people so much. And yeah, I'm just letting myself mourn that experience and letting myself feel sad. Obviously, I'm still doing my thing, I'm still doing my work, I'm doing my healthy habits, I'm doing my little job search, doing my little life plans, all of those things. I'm doing it, but it is just tinged with this sadness of loss of this student identity, but specifically the student identity that I had during my undergraduate degree that I just love. And yes, I probably will do a master's, maybe a PhD someday, but things will never be the same again as they were. If any of you have graduated and you have been lucky enough to come back to your family home, that is also such an experience in itself, because you go from this life of so much independence, so much freedom. Sometimes that freedom leads you to making really bad mistakes, bad choices. You're staying up until 3 a.m, you're absolutely exhausted, you're not really eating a very good dinner, you're really unhealthy, all these things, but still, it's your choice. That freedom is yours, and that's so luscious, and just truly feeling like an adult. And then returning to your family home, which I appreciate is a privilege, because a lot of people can't do that for various reasons. But in doing that, it's this regression. It feels like a regression, because you don't have the same independence, you don't have the same freedom. In my case, I'm super lucky. My mum, she does my laundry, she makes dinner a lot of days. I just show up, I'm just taken care of, and I feel bad even saying that that's a bad thing, but yeah, life is just different. It's just different. And there's less excitement, and there's less of the feeling of growth that you get in university, even though I know that you grow in different ways, through stability, through extended periods of really good health. And also, I live in this little town where nothing really happens. It's just very dead. It's cute. I'm so grateful that I grew up here. I have a lot of great memories. There's beautiful nature, there's beautiful fields. It's gorgeous in terms of nature. I feel like I've really come back to myself in a lot of ways because of it. But at the same time, it's dead. And as such a social person who really thrived in this community setting I was given at Minerva, I just feel I don't know, I just feel like, so alone. I had a few days of feeling such loneliness. Like I was ringing my friends and I'm like, girl, I'm just in my head. I'm in my head all the time. And it's just, even if I go to London, even if I meet up with people, it's just too much of me with me. And you know what I keep trying to come back to is that I know that this state right now is impermanent. I know that for a fact. Firstly, because I'm such a workaholic and I just always make things happen in my life. I will always do it. I work my way to amazing opportunities. But secondly, because everything in life is impermanent. And so this chapter of life, like even if right now it feels a bit uncomfortable to sit in uncertainty, to be missing a life that I've just lived that I loved more, I can't yet see this new life that I'm working towards. I'm trying to find the beauty in this chapter too. I saw this TikTok recently where they spoke to a guy who is married, has kids, and he goes to see his parents once a year. And the guy who was interviewing him said, you do realise that probably means you're only going to see your parents 15 more times. Because his parents were getting old, average lifespan of a human, isn't super long, and he only saw them once a year. So just doing the math, you could literally see how many times he would see his family in his lifetime, in their lifetimes. And so in many ways, regressing to my childhood state for a bit and just being at home and spending time with my parents, even if sometimes it feels boring, even if sometimes I feel like I don't have enough freedom, I feel really lucky. I'm just trying to appreciate time with them. My dad went to a garden centre with me and helped pick out some more lovely plants for my shelf. When I'm just working on my laptop, he comes in almost every day without me asking, opens the door and brings me a cappuccino, which is just the cutest thing ever because I just don't ever make myself coffee. I'm scared of coffee machines, but if someone makes me one, I will have it. So he just makes it for me every day. And my mum is just the queen of small acts of kindness too. I think sometimes she can just tell when I'm feeling low and she'll just say things like, you look beautiful, Jade. Or sometimes, even though she's actually downstairs, she'll just WhatsApp message me a photo of Finding Nemo or something with a love you on it. I'm just like, oh, I love these people so much. And I get time with them. I literally get time with them. And I know one day I will crave this chapter where I just sat in my uncertainty and sat with people who love me and who I love and just really took time to work out what I want to do in this world and mourn this whole university period. I know that one day I will miss this. So yeah, I'm just trying to let it all sit and let it all be. It's a weird time, post-grad. It's your whole bloody life. You're in this education system where the path is just, you just walk along it. It's all defined for you. All you got to do is get good grades, which honestly, that's my kind of challenge. I love that challenge. It's so clear, it's so defined. You study, you ace it. You study harder, you ace it a little bit more. Brilliant. My sense of self-worth, I can just link to these beautiful little grades. I don't have to overthink, don't have to get existential. I can just focus on my little tasks, feel really happy and confident when they do really well, and that's it. That's life. I feel like I'm thriving. And then you throw me out into the grand world where the options are endless and also the world is cruel. And yeah, I just can't help but feel like there are so many issues in the world that I also want to solve or be a part of changing. But the more I learn about them, the more pessimistic or maybe realistic I become. And it feels where do I want to throw my time? But even if I throw my time at them, is it going to make that much of a difference? Because I'm just this tiny fish in this giant world with so many complex problems. I've been reading so much about the climate crisis recently and feel like I want to, devote some of my career to this somehow. I've been speaking to a bunch of people in climate tech, different parts of solving the climate crisis. But I also feel kind of weirdly hopeless about the climate crisis, even though I want to be an optimist, and then that doesn't drive me to want to It doesn't drive me to action. So yeah, anyway, I'm rambling a bit now, but I feel like this is what it means to come into society as a graduate. And even though, I learn about society from like more of a theoretical standpoint, even though I did internships, even though I existed in all these different cities around the world, it is different when you're taken out of this really defined bubble of your education and you're just thrown at the world, and they say, go ahead, work on issues you're passionate about if you want. You might not change anything, it might not change anything in the world, but like try that. Or just focus on like building a cute little life, little mundane life, that's also good too. Or just focus on making some money here and there. Why are you overthinking the ethics of the world? Just make some money. Like that's a path a lot of people do too. Like it's just nothing is really defined now, and yeah, it's the excitement and possibility of defining that for myself that is both scary and something exciting that I'm trying to embrace. And I also just want to acknowledge the uniqueness of my position as a graduate, because I'm very different from a lot of like just like casually graduating people, because I make money. Like this channel, mind-blowingly, even though it's just like me talking into a mic, like I don't know how to do the tech of this. It's probably the audio is probably gonna cut out at some point. I'm sorry if it does. But yeah, like I make money from this, and it is a job in many ways, which is like so cool. And I feel so lucky to have this platform that I love, and to be entering this stage of my life with, like this platform and backing. But also I feel like judged at the same time, and I feel like there's so many people invested in my life and my next steps, and I think I'm learning to draw more boundaries around the parts of my life that I want to be private and not judged on, just so that I can carve this life without always like thinking about what other people are thinking about me. So yeah, if you're not always hearing tangible updates about my career journey, that's why. It's because I'm scared of your judgment. I put enough pressure and expectations on myself anyway, so I don't need more from the world. Something that I am affirming to myself a lot recently, which I would also love to affirm to you in whatever situation you're in and whatever life looks like for you right now, is that we are enough. That I am enough exactly as I am right now. That right now, in this state of like uncertainty and sadness and belonging and missing and all of it, that's what I'm meant to be feeling right now, and that's okay, and that's enough. I don't need to push more, I don't need to do more, I don't need to absolutely exhaust myself with overthinking what the next chapter will look like, because in many ways this chapter right now is a chapter. This chapter is enough, this one of the not knowing. And if you're just feeling like you're not enough right now, I just really want to affirm to you that you are. Like, life is not easy, it's not linear, like there's so many challenges, and we're all just figuring it out. So keep trying, keep doing your best. One day you'll look back at where you are right now and just feel so proud of yourself and so grateful for the way you navigated all of the uncertainty. Gosh, I don't even know if I'm going to post this. I feel like this... it's just such a messy, rambly video. But so many of you guys were so sweet in my like rambly video that I filmed on holiday about like positivity and just embracing your full self. And I'm very sweet about the possibility of a podcast and all this stuff. So I will use that good energy to convince myself to go edit this and post it, even though I feel like it's just a ramble. Oh, my casual magic today was when I was going to go to bed, I went downstairs to fill up my water bottle, as you do, and my dad was just sitting in the darkness on the sofa, as he does, and I just went over and just was like saying goodnight to him, and then I think we ended up having like a kind of a deep chat, and that doesn't really happen very often with me and my dad, so that just felt very special. And of course I then went upstairs and like journaled about it for ages. Oh my gosh, this is very me. But yeah, so that was my casual magic. I feel grateful for my relationship with my parents. What mundane thing in your everyday today made you feel a little bit grateful for something? I would love to hear. Okay, bye guys. Have a gorgeous, gorgeous night or morning or day or whenever you're watching this. And if you're watching it at a weird time, go to bed. Go get some sleep.